Okay. So welcome again. We'll continue from where we had stopped. That is 2.50. We had completed 2.49, and we'll continue with 2.50. So we read the famous verse, Karmanya Ivadikaraste Mahakoleshi Kadasana. You have the right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of activity, and never be attached of not doing your duty. In this regard, we saw that whatever duty we were doing, we require a lot of energy. It's not our own ability. We require that energy. We require the permission to use that energy. So therefore, we are not the ultimate doer in that sense. We are the initiator. We are the desire. We initiate the task. But we take help of so many things, just like this excavator is taking help of the hydraulic machine to dig. At the end, he's going to say, I dug it. But in reality, the excavator dug it under his direction. So we also need to understand that under our direction, we use some energies. So therefore, we cannot completely say this is I am the doer. Okay, and we read about the five things that decide the outcome, and the final one is the super soul. And we need to do our activity full-heartedly and give up proprietorship, controlship, and enjoyship. Meaning basically try to be as much as possible selfless. As much as possible, okay? It doesn't mean that if you're working in a company and the company says we'll stop your salary, then we have to continue working. No, it doesn't mean like that, okay? We have to take practical decisions. But we should not be doing it for sense gratification. Sense gratification means, in other words, enjoyment, which is mostly selfishness. There is enjoyment in giving also, and there is enjoyment in taking, in holding to oneself, in hoarding. Which of the enjoyment is better? Enjoyment in giving, right? So whatever enjoyment is, it should be in the giving. It should be selfless. Loka Sangraha. Last time we read the definition. Yeah. So we should do our duties without expectation of fruits, or without the fruit. If it comes, not comes, right? Little bit selflessness. It should be benefit of the society. It should be free from the doership. Hey, I did this. No, I was held by all the energies in the universe to do this particular task. Alone, when I was born, baby, I cannot even move my hand. One day I discovered, yes, I can move my hand. Do you know that of the babies? One day they discover that they can move their hand. Till that point, they're moving the hand uncontrollably. They have no control over it. One day they will say, oh, I can move my hand. Like that. So we should understand how much control we have, and we should be realistic. Now, in this regard, we also talk that we have to do our best. We have to do our best, not the best, because everyone has different ability. Somebody may complete studies within half an hour, and we may take 6 hours. So we have to do our best. We should not consider that they are their best and then have a problem. Like if we say these animals to climb the tree, is it possible? No, right? Only the monkey will be able to climb. Only the bird will be able to climb. Everyone else will struggle. So do your best in that activity. And you will be best in some other activity. That will be definitely there because that is our purpose. We get this certain body. Um, and we our every senses have certain abilities in it. Some can sing well, some can hear well, some have physical strength more, right? Some have intellectual strength, but they are very weak in body. So something or the other will be given, and we have to channelize that, our psychophysical nature, in its best efficient optimum way, and then we will get good results. And good results always doesn't mean that, oh, we'll become very rich and super rich. No. Good results mean we'll be satisfied in the work that we will do. And then whatever money that comes, we are satisfied with it. Our mind is happy that I'm doing the thing that I like to do. People always struggle in this world. They are not doing the things that they like to do. Right? Because of various reasons, because of money, because of the way they were educated, etc., etc., the way the world is today. Okay. So do your best, not the best. Everyone is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Okay. So that's one point I want to say. And then let's move to today's verse. Before that, so we have to perform our duty equipoised. Equipoised. This is very important. Equipoisedness is very important. Meaning, one may think, oh, how will I perform a duty if my goal is not there in front of me? Well, the goal is there. But let's not be selfish of the goal. The goal is there, you try for it. Okay. And if you don't get the goal, which happens sometimes, then don't become carried away with that whole thing. Be equipoised. Equilibrium. Okay. Equilibrium, meaning we are not affected by success or failure, by happiness and sorrow. Try to always achieve this state. And that state is called as yoga. So this is a very important thing. Yoga also means equilibrium, equipoisedness. When we achieve that, then we won't be affected by all the things that are happening around us. 49. Keep all abominable activities far by distant service. Abominable means karma kanda section, doing activity for fruitive results, and doing activity for which are criminal, illegal. All these are abominable things. Just keep it away and focus on devotion service. And in that, you surrender to the Lord, and therefore you will enjoy the fruits. But those who want to just enjoy the fruits are misers. When one surrenders to the Lord and then he enjoys, then they are not misers. They will really enjoy. Like after the Mahabharata war, who won? The Pandavas.
Pandavas.
Yeah, they won. So we should not be afraid, oh, if I do yoga and yoga means not yoga asanas, but this particular yoga or bhakti yoga or buddhi yoga or devotional service, then we will be losers. No, we will gain. But did they carry away? It's a very interesting thing. Yeah. So after the war, the Pandavas won, right? And then after 36 years from that war, Krishna left the planet. He went back to his abode. At that point, the Pandavas also left their palaces and went for the Himalayas. So you can see they were not very attached to the thing that they fought over it. But in today's case, if you see the politicians and all that, they're so attached to their chair. Till the very death, they will fight over it. Right? So this is what Krishna is saying. Don't become like this. Then you will forget about the goal of life. Then you will get carried away by the success and failures. And you're just lost. Okay, don't get carried away by that. Be equipoised. Okay, now let's start with this verse. Buddhi yukto jahatita. Now we are what we are going to discuss is the benefits of working in this equipoised yoga, which is another word is buddhi yoga, another word is intelligent yoga, and the right word, right definition is bhakti yoga. So Krishna at this point he says buddhi yoga. So he's telling buddhi. Simply word is intelligence. The highest intelligence is devotional service. So that's why the translation is those who engage in devotional service. That is the highest definition. Buddhi yoga jahatita ube sukrita dushkrite tasmad yoga yujasva yoga karmashu kaushalam. So what is the first benefit? A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions, even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is art of all work. So, if one, what this says, if one is in this yoga, then, then whatever good and bad reactions are going to come, they're gone away. Now, because of this good and bad reaction, we are taking bodies again and again. We are the soul, but we are taking bodies again and again because we are doing good. Sometimes we are doing bad sometimes. But if we act in Buddhi Yoga, then nothing of this cycle comes in way. So that is more intelligent. See, this science only Bhagavad Gita teaches. Only the Upanishads teach. Their aim is not that we become, we just become rich and enjoy in this world and go from here to heaven and etc. etc. No, that is not their aim. Their aim is how to go beyond that to a permanent eternal solution.
Papa, do you ever learn Sabbath teacher?
To permanent solution. Yeah, to a permanent solution. So the permanent solution is to act in Buddhi Yoga, that is devotion. Since time immemorial, each living entity has accumulated the various reactions of his good and bad work. As such, he is consistently ignorant of his real constitutional position. One's ignorance can be removed by instruction of Bhagavad Gita, which teaches one to surrender unto Lord Shri Krishna in all respects and become liberated from the chained victim of action, reaction, birth after birth. Arjuna is therefore advised to act in Krishna consciousness, the purifying process of resultant action. Now, I was telling you that I'll tell you two stories, you'll understand. See, there is good and bad reaction. Now, if we do anything good in this world, we are entitled to get that good reaction, and we have to come again and consume it, basically. Bad reaction can also happen. While doing good, also bad can happen. Now, these are all Puranic stories. So, one of the Puranic stories of the king Nirga. So, he was very much charitable. He used to donate like anything, donate gold, silver, cows, and dig wells. So much donation he was doing. But once what happened is one cow that he donated came back to him and he didn't knew. So he donated again that cow to another Brahmana. And then the other Brahmana came and said, that cow you donated to me and you again donated that. That is wrong. The king said, I don't know. But the Brahmana said, I don't know. You are wrong. And therefore he curses him. Next life, even though he was such a charitable person, he got the body of a lizard. So even though there may be so many good karma, but a one bad karma got him into trouble. Right? And then
was it really bad?
No, he got the body of a lizard.
Yeah, I mean, like him forgetting that he had already donated the given away that cow to someone, he forgot that. So how did it become wrong?
No, so the thing is, the Brahmana considered it wrong. The Brahmana considered it wrong and he gave him the curse. And one cannot get rid of that curse. So one has to come and suffer that bad reaction. But King Nigra, he was not in devotional service. He became devotional service in, so the later part of the story is Krishna and his children were playing, and the ball went into a well where this King Niga had been uh, present as a lizard. When they saw that lizard, they were shocked. So, so Krishna came and he picked that lizard and brought him out. The moment he brought him out, and by the touch of Krishna, he performed devotional service, King Niga, and he again got his human body. And then he told his story that I was a very charitable king, but I did one mistake. And it was not an external mistake, it was unknowingly, but I was still cursed. So that shows that if one is not having devotional service, then even a curse, one has to come and force it. Whereas in case of Parikshit Maharaj, this is grandson of Arjuna, his name was Parikshit Maharaj, he was cursed to die in 7 days and 7 nights. 7 days. He heard Shrimad Bhagavatam and he was bit by the snake, but he didn't get human body. He went back home, back to God. So going out in liberation is the best case scenario. And that happens when one is in devotion service. So what we are talking is those who are not in devotion service, however good may be they, however bad may be they be, or whatever the combination may be, they have to come back and take life. Okay. So King Niga's case, it was not his deliberate mistake, but even for his even for an unknowing mistake, he was cursed, and that became a bad reaction for him. And he couldn't get rid of it because he was not in devotional service. So if he was in devotional service, he could have got rid of it. Just like Parikshit Maharaj got rid of the snake bite. Even when snake bite him, he didn't take birth again. So yeah, that's the point. What happens to us after death is a very big consideration. Hello. Sorry. Someone had called me. So yeah, let's move to the next verse. So this is technical thing. This is how the Vedic system works. The karma works. Okay. Bad reaction, good reaction, they all work. And Krishna is trying to explain Arjuna so that he can do a certain reaction by which whatever he engages in Krishna consciousness, he is able to rid of both good and bad reaction. Both go away. Karma jam buddhi yukta hi palam tokta manishina janma bandha vinirmukta padam gachanti anamayam. By thus engaging in devotional service to the Lord, great sages and devotees free themselves from the results of work in the material world. In this way, they become free from the cycle of birth and death and attain the state beyond all miseries. By going back from activity. Janma bandha vinirmukta. Mukta we know, right? Liberated, free. From what? Janma bandha. Bondage of birth and death. We are again taking bodies again and again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janane jatate jananam. This is a very nice song. This is by Adi Shankaracharya. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Adi Shankaracharya. He has written this very nice song, Bhajago. And he says this. 22. What's number 22? Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani Jathare Shayanam. Eha samsare bahudustare kripaya pare pahi murare. This is again and again we are taking birth. Born again and again, we birth, we stay in the mother's womb. It's indeed hard to cross the boundless ocean of samsara. Oh Murari, that is Krishna, redeem me through thy mercy. See, spiritual knowledge means this, how to get rid of birth and death. And then the processes of what it is. So what we are discussing is the process of how to get rid. You have to take to devotion service of the Lord. Buddhi Yukta. The liberated living beings belong to a place where there is no material misery. Now, why we have to think about this life and death and all that, right? Because this is a temporary situation, and we are always looking for permanent solutions in a temporary world. Agreed? We are always looking for that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, so the world is made like that it is all temporary. It is so in Bhagavad Gita, this world is only described with two words: Ashashvatam, Dukkhalayam. Ashashvatam means temporary, and Dukkhalayam means it's misery is kept, Dukkha is kept. In this, what are we going to find permanent happiness? We are not going to find. Therefore, the process of yoga needs to be given to us so that we can come out of the cycle of birth. And then what happens is we go for eternal life, where there is no death. And where the body is also like not like this, where it becomes old and then we die. No. So Bhagavatam 10:14-58 says, for one who has accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and famous as Mukunda, or giver of mukti, the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in a calf's footprint. Param Padam, or the place where there is no material miseries, or Vaikuntha, is his goal, not the place where there is danger in every step of life. So here in this world, there is danger every step. We step out of the house, there is danger of traffic, accident, so many things. Inside the house, what is the danger? Some accident may happen inside the house. Huh? Light may go, there will be no AC working. Something or other danger is working now, right? There's gas, there's fire, electricity, shock. So everywhere there is danger at every step. Right? So this world is like that. Therefore, we have to take shelter of Mukunda. Mukunda is another name of Krishna. He's the giver of mukti. And then we'll get rid of it. Okay. Owing to ignorance, one does not know that the material world is miserable place. Okay, where there are dangers every step. Out of ignorance, only less intelligent people try to adjust the situation by fruitive activities, thinking that the resultant actions will make them happy. They do not know that no kind of material body anywhere within the universe can give life without miseries. The miseries of life, namely birth, death, old age, and disease, are present everywhere within the material world. But one who understands his real constitutional position as the eternal servant of the Lord, and thus knows the position of the personality of God, engages himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Consequently, he becomes qualified to enter into the Vaikuntha planet, where there is neither material nor miserable. Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha. Kuntha means misery, and Vai means no. So it's a place where there is no misery. That's a spiritual world where there is no influence of time and death. Interesting, right? In this world, in the material world, we have an experience that time is very short. The past and the future, they are very big. but the present is very small. Agreed? Within a moment, past, right? Things become past. And
Yes,
future,
sir.
we always think about future. It is like very huge, 10 years, 20 years, what is going to happen? But in the Vaikuntha planet, the present is big and the past and the future is small. How that happens, I also don't know, but this is the explanation. Huh? So, so that's the Vaikuntha.
Is it
planet.
really possible, sir,
What is possible?
that the present being
Yeah.
uh,
So it's in the spiritual nature. Okay.
I mean, like, is it possible for us as well in this world?
No, not in this world. When we go to the Vaikuntha planets, there it is possible.
So, if not possible, then is there any way that we can like it's been said that meditation and such things help us to
Yeah.
be in the present. So,
The see that is different than what I'm talking. See that what says is that be in the present means the past and the future they are like troubling things to us. So you focus on what you're doing now, and that you make it better because that is definitely going to decide your future and that is definitely going to decide your past. And then you can have memories and you can have achievements which are predictable in the future. You may get some success, and if you get success when they become past, then you'll remember those success and you'll be happy. So the concept over there is that if you think too much of past, it bothers you. If you think too much of future, it bothers you. But the reality is that what you do in the present will decide your future and will decide your past. So you focus on your present. Okay, that is the concept over there. But what I'm talking here is the nature of the spiritual planets. There, the past and the future is very negligible and the present is long. By nature, you don't have to meditate and get to that state. No, by nature of that place, it is like that. Like gravity on this earth is 9.8, whatever. But gravity on Jupiter, gravity on moon, gravity on this, gravity on that planet, it is different, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah. So similarly, time is different over there and it's here. So there it is eternal time, and here it is momentary time. Getting? I'll talk
Yes,
more
sir.
about this. Let me finish this.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I'll talk more about the Vaikuntha planet because that's a very interesting planet. Without that, we need some knowledge about that. What exactly? It's actually a place. It's not imaginary. Okay.
So, is there any mention that who are there in that place now? Like, is
Yeah. There are two realities: material reality that we are staying in, and then there is a spiritual reality that is eternally happening. So I will just show. I will just pictorially show about it, and let's finish this purport, and then I will discuss about the Vaikuntha planets. So consequently, he becomes qualified to enter into Vaikuntha planets where there is neither material miserable life nor influence of time and death. To know one's constant position means to know also the sublime position of the Lord. One who wrongly thinks that the living entity's position and the Lord's position are on the same level is to be understood in darkness and therefore unable to engage himself in devotional service of the Lord. He becomes a Lord himself and thus paves way for repetition of birth and death. See, what this line means is that there are people in spiritual circles, they say that you are God. Ultimately, you will come to the conclusion that you are God, which is completely wrong. It is not acceptable. If we were God, then we should not suffer in the first place. Now, what are we then? We are having the similar qualities like God. We are also spiritual in nature. God is also spiritual in nature. But quantity wise, we differ. He is Virat and we are very Anu, meaning he is unlimited and we are limited. Okay. So that concept is going to come again and again. So I won't go much deeper in it, but ultimately just understand that in the some spiritual circles, it is said that you are God. No, you are godly. You are having similar qualities like God, but not God. Just like as a test tube water, or as let's say a bucket of water you take from the sea, it is also having salt and various chemicals as we find in the sea. But if we compare the quantity, it will never match. The quantity in the quantity of chemicals in the sea is million times more than what is found in that bucket of water. So you cannot say the bucket of water to be the sea. Can you say this is my sea? I bought the Arabian Sea at home. No, you bought the water of that Arabian Sea at home. So that's why this concept of that this false concept of that you are God is not accepted. And this point is going to come again. But one who understands that his position is to serve, transfer himself to the service of the Lord, one at once becomes eligible for Vaikuntha Loka. Service for the cause of the Lord is called Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, or in plain words, devotional service. Now, again and again, this Vaikuntha Loka is come. So let me talk about that. I have this Vedic cosmos. You have to talk something about the cosmic Vedic. What is the Vedic cosmology? So, okay. Can you see this picture nicely? Or I think I should make it little.
Not clearly, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Now it's much better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Let me
Perfect.
make it. Yeah. Let me make it more bigger. So this is Vedic cosmos. This is the cosmology of Vedic science, which says that this is Brahmand. This is one universe. It's under, means it is like darkness, and it's covered half with water. And then there are 14 planetary systems. 14 planetary system, out of which the middle one is Earth planetary system, where our Earth is located. And then in the above planets are Swargaloka, in the below planets is Pataloka. 7 of them, 7 above, 7 below. Okay. So this was whole engineered by Brahma, who born of a lotus flower which stem out from the navel of Lord Vishnu, which we can see here on the Ananda Sheet. This is how the Vedic cosmology. And then it says that there are coverings to this Brahmanda. First covering is Earth. Bigger than Earth is water. Bigger than water is fire. Fire than air, then ether, then mind, intelligence, possible, subtle elements. So these are coverings. So when we do devotional service or any yoga, Dhyan yoga, to get rid of birth and death, we basically cross all these coverings and we reach somewhere else. I'll show you. So this is one universe. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
I won't go more details into it because that is not required now. Some day later we will show. So this is one universe. Now like this, there are many universes. So this is the next picture. Now this is bigger one. Okay. So like I told you, there are many universes. This is one universe we discussed. Like this, there are many universes. And they are coming from the body of Mahavishnu. There is another Vishnu which is outside of this, which is called Mahavishnu. And he inhales and exhales. And when he exhales, all these millions of universes come. And when he inhales, everything goes inside his body. And this Mahavishnu is sleeping on a Karana ocean. There's another ocean which is called Karana ocean. And he's sleeping on that. And in between there is this Brahma Jyoti, spiritual energy. Above this spiritual energy is the Vaikuntha planets. Here, all the Vaikuntha planets starts here. Above the Brahma Jyoti is the Vaikuntha planets. And this is what Vaikuntha Loka is. Now here, What is it? Let's zoom in. Here there is Vaikuntha planet of Narayan, of Narayan Bhagwan, Vishnu, Narsingha Bhagwan, Buddha, Kurma, um, and various other like Boar incarnation, Varaha, like this. Beyond it, in the Vaikuntha planets, there is Ayodhya, Dwarka, Mathura, and Vrindavan. Here is where the original Krishna, he descends into Vishnu form as Ram, as Narayan, as Narsingha, as Varaha, and then he outerates. He comes down to the material world. That's why it is called avatar. So now you understand what is the spiritual world. This is the spiritual world. Now here there is no death, and here the concept of time is that the present is bigger and the past and future are small. Whereas concept of time here is in our material world is the present is small and the past and the future are big. But in the spiritual world, the present is big and the past and the future are small. Okay, and it's eternal time here. So these are the Vaikuntha planets. So
What is the meaning of this? I mean, past is smaller and present is bigger. What do you mean by that?
it means that exact thing. It means in this world, no, like I'm taking this class. Now immediately when I finish my sentence, that thing has become past. And what I'm going to say in future, for the next half an hour, 15 minutes, is the future. So the future is big. We sometimes think about days, months, years, what are we going to have, what is going to happen in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And in the past, we think, okay, what all happened for the last so many years? But when it comes to present, do we think of this 1 second that we spent? No, right? So the present is very small in this world, whereas the past and the future are very huge. Now, exact opposite happens in the spiritual world. The present is large, is huge, and the past and the future becomes less. That is the concept of time over there, eternal. How that happens, I don't know, but this is what is explained. And therefore, there is no death over there. There is no birth, death, old age, and disease over there. Because the present has been gone, and the body that you get is not of earth, water, fire, air, ether. It is a spiritual body. Now, do you know there are some bacteria which are existing in fire? Those are called as fire bacteria. So they have got bodies of fire that they can survive that way. Now, if you go to the deepest ocean floor, you know, right, the pressure of the water is so high that it can break the shell, right? But then they found creatures over there. Now the creatures over there are transparent creatures. So they are having such a body by which they can withhold the pressure at that point. Similarly, in the spiritual world, we get that body which is spiritual in nature, which is doesn't diminish, doesn't get destroyed, it's eternal, it is blissful. Satchit Ananda Vigraha. Vigraha means form. That's the form we get. Satchit Ananda Vigraha. But in the material world, it is asat. It's temporary. It's not even chit. It is achit. Meaning this body doesn't give us knowledge. We have to gather knowledge. Every time we have to come, we have to learn A, B, C, D again. Satchit Ananda. Ananda. Does this body give Ananda? If little fever comes to us, we are down like anything, right? It pains us like anything. So it's not giving us happiness. Sometimes it gives happiness, but most of the time there is always some or the other problem within our body. But in the spiritual world, we get a body of Satchidananda. Okay. Any question?
No, sir.
No, Prabhu. That's fine.
So I'm going to give very interesting video for all of you to watch. I'll put it in the chat and I will put it in the groups also. So basically, this is Vedic Cosmos video. So you can see video of cosmology, how the Vedic science explain about the cosmology, how they describe the planets and all. This picture that we see, let me just expand. This will help you understand the time concept. Let's look at the lower rank, the lowest. We are in Kali Yuga, which is 4,332,000 years long. Dwapar Yuga is double of that, Treta Yuga is double of Dwapar, and Satyuga is double of Treta. This cycle, this set of 4 yugas is called Divya Yuga. Now let's look at the upper one. There are 71 Divya Yugas. So such 71 Divya Yuga is called Manvantara. And how many Manvantaras are there? 14 Manvantaras are there. And plus 15 Sandhyas. Means technically there is 29 Manvantaras. 29 into 71 Divya Yugas. 29 into 29 into 4. Okay, 29 into 4. If I do that calculation, where it is? 29 into 4. 116 sets. 116 sets of 4 yugas. And each yuga each Divya Yuga is 404.32 billion years. Meaning into 4.32. 5012 million years. That is 1 day of Brahma. Okay, it's 1 day of Brahma. And he lives for 100 years. And if you multiply it, it comes to this number as 311 trillion years. So you see the concept of time for Brahma, it is 300 trillion years. And for us, how much it is? 100 years. And it's reducing for us, like 60 or 70 or 80 years. Right? So life of Brahma is huge. And life of man on this earth is very small, tiny. Now, how do we understand this thing? Right? It is very simple. Even on this earth, there are some creatures which live only for few days. Can you name them? Which creature lives only few days? It takes birth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, dead. Which creature? Do you know?
So maybe from the family of the caterpillar, cocoons.
Yeah. 14 days, 7 days, mosquitoes. For them, they live 7 days. Okay. They live 7 days. Let's do some mathematics. We live for 365 into, let's say, 80 years. That is 29,200 days. Okay. They live for how many? 15 days. So we live almost 2,000 times more than the mosquitoes. So on the earth itself, we are experiencing this thing, that somebody is living on, compared to other person, 2,000 times. So on the earth, we are experiencing this thing. So from the Swargaloka, definitely we can experience like 1 trillion times our days. Agreed? Now does it make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So this is the concept of time, but this is within the material world. Okay, this is within one universe. Within one universe, Brahma is living for 100 his years. That is, for compared to our, it is 311 trillion years. And then he also dies. Okay. See, like this, the Mahavishnu, many universes are coming from the body. So this is Vedic cosmos. Okay. So yeah, coming back to our Vaikuntha planet. So when we enter Vaikuntha planet, there is no death. There is eternal life. Okay. So that is our goal. That is the goal of spirituality, to enter the Vaikuntha planet. And then what we are discussing here is Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga, what are the benefits of Buddhi Yoga? First, we discussed it, we get free from bad and good reaction. Then we get free from cycle of birth and death. And now we'll discuss it indifferent to Vedic rituals. Now, the Vedas, they have flowery words in it. If you do this, you will get this. Putram Dehi, Dhanam Dehi, Janam Dehi, what all Dehi, 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 Dehi. But when we come to know about Vaikuntha planets, we are indifferent. We don't want it. If the mosquito is told, you will do, if you do this puja, you will live 2000 times your age. He'll become happy. He'll say, wow, I die in 15 days, but now I die 2000 times more. But the catch here is that he will die one day at the age of 80 human years. But when we come to know there is a Vaikuntha planet where there is no death. Hey, there is no death. I want to go to that place. So that is the benefit of doing Buddhi Yoga, that we become indifferent. We are not more interested in this Vedic rituals. And then we focus on realizing the relationship with Krishna, because that will take us to Vaikuntha planet. And then we'll ultimately go to back to God. That is the Vaikuntha. When your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. You become indifferent when our focus becomes Vaikuntha. There are many good examples in the lives of great devotees of the Lord who have become indifferent to the rituals of the Vedas simply by devotional service to the Lord. When the person factually understands Krishna and his relationship with Krishna, he naturally becomes completely indifferent to the rituals of fruitive activities. Even though an experienced Brahmana, Madhavendra Puri, he said, oh, prayers 3 times a day, Sandhya prayers, Oh, bathing, I offer my obeisances unto you. Oh, demigods of forefathers, please excuse me for my inability to offer you my respects. Now, wherever I sit, I can remember the great descendant of the Yadu dynasty, the enemy of Kamsa. Therefore, I can free myself from all sinful bondage. I think this is sufficient for me. So, to go back to God, we have to completely remember Krishna 24 hours a day. Okay. The Vedic rites and rituals are imperative for neophytes. So we are not on the same level of Madhavendra Puri. So for Madhavendra Puri, okay. So we are not on the same level of Madhavendra Puri. So for us, the Vedic rituals and rites, they are there. We have to follow that. Comprehending all kinds of prayer 3 times a day, taking bath in the early morning, offering respects to forefathers. But when one is engaged fully in Krishna consciousness and is engaged in his transcendental loving service, one becomes indifferent to all his regulative principles because he has attained perfection. If one can reach the platform of understanding by service to the Supreme Lord, he no longer needs to execute different types of penances, sacrifices as revealed in the revealed scriptures. And similarly, one has to understand that the purpose of the Veda is to reach Krishna, simply engages in rituals, etc., then he's uselessly wasting time in such engagement. The person in Krishna consciousness transcends the limit of Shabda Brahma or the range of Vedas and Upanishads. So this particular chapter 2 is summarization of Bhakti, summarization of the whole Bhagavad Gita. So that's why there are some sentences which are very packed with a lot of knowledge. So one of this is this. that one becomes indifferent to Vedic rituals and rites. But for us, we are not on that level. So for us, we have to still follow. And then at the side, we have to do devotional service. And slowly, slowly, we will become indifferent. Slowly, this will happen gradually. Shruti vipitapanna te yada sthayati nishchala samadhe achala bhuddhis tada yogam avyapsasi. When your mind is no longer disturbed by flowery language of the Vedas and when it remains fixed in trance of self-realization, then you have attained the divine consciousness. Okay, when we are no more attracted to the Vedas say you have to go to Sarga Loka, we say we don't want Sarga, we don't want Naraka also, you only want Vaikuntha. When that happens, then our focus is only on Krishna and we achieve self-realization. To say that one is samadhi is to say that one has fully realized Krishna consciousness. That is, one in full samadhi has realized Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. The highest perfection of self-realization is to understand one is eternally the servitor of Krishna, and that one's only business is to discharge one's duty in Krishna consciousness. A Krishna conscious person or unflinching devotee of the Lord should not be disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, nor be engaged in fruitive activities for promotion to the heavenly kingdom. In Krishna consciousness, one comes directly to the communion with Krishna, and thus all directions from Krishna may be understood in that transcendental state. One is sure to achieve results by such activities and attain conclusive knowledge. One has only to carry out the orders of Krishna or his representative, the spiritual master. So at that point, one is only doing Krishna consciousness and not doing anything else. In samadhi, is fully focused on Krishna. Now Arjun becomes interested to know what does a person do like that. He says, Sita pragnasya ka bhasha samadhi sthaya keshava sthayi dhitim pravashita kim asita pujeta. Oh Krishna, who achieves that situation, that consciousness? How he merges in transcendence? How does he speak? What is his language? How does he sit? How does he walk? So he becomes inquisitive to know. Hey, if such a person is there, tell me how he speaks. Tell me how he walks, how he behaves. So that part of the Bhagavad Gita we will discuss next week. We are out of time. So next week we'll discuss from 2.54. So let's open up for some question or comment you may have. Any questions, comments?
So I have a doubt.
Sure.
Today in the beginning, we just revised what we had learned last week, like, about doing our best. So here it was written, do your best and not the best. Okay, but again, like the same thing, like our best is subjective, and if not the best, like
No. Our best is not subjective. Our best is in proportion to our ability. We have certain ability. There may be a topper in the class, and his ability will be different. So he has to work according to his ability. If we try to do what he is doing, right, then it will be very difficult for us to follow. So we have to figure out what we are good at, and we have
and
to
how do we know what is our ability?
Yeah. So last time you asked this question, there is syllabus, so many chapters and all that, right?
Yes.
A topper will do this syllabus, and out of syllabus, everything he will do. Therefore, even out of syllabus question, he will answer. But let's say our ability is that we cannot go out of syllabus. We are studying, and these 10 chapters only finishing a lot of time. So we need to understand, okay, my ability is now that if I just finish this syllabus, then it's enough for me. I need not think that I have to become like that person and do out of syllabus questions. No. If we have that ability, then yes. But if we don't have it, then at least what is given to us, we should finish that. And regarding the next question is how to figure out what is our strength, weaknesses, is to analyze. First is thing to analyze. We should analyze what is our nature. Is it extrovert? Is it introvert? What kind of challenge do you want? Can we take a challenge where we are just careless? We just don't care what will happen. or we are very safe playing? See, I'll explain. See, in the army, this is a very interesting example. So there is army, right? Inside the army, there are many battalions. In spite of these battalions, they have commandos. Right? They have commandos. Even beyond the commandos, they have paratroopers. Right? Now, you tell me that what is the size of the battalion? Let's say 2000. How many commandos are there in the army? Any idea?
So I couldn't hear you. I guess there was a network issue from my side. Could you repeat?
Okay. Let me repeat. So there is army. Army has, let's say, 1 lakh, and a battalion has 2000. How many commandos are there in the army?
Less, like very less than.
Let's say 500. And how many paratroopers are there? Let's say 100.
100.
Now, why do you think army cannot directly hire and put people in paratroopers? Do you have any idea?
Not qualified enough. Not qualified enough.
Yeah. So what happens is, everyone who joins army, they have this energy in them that even if I die for the country, I won't care, right?
Yes, sir.
Among that also, there are few who will risk carelessly. They will take careless, like I won't say careless decision, but their risk capability is more. Among those, then they will join the commandos. They won't fear. Among those, there are those who are not fearless at all. Sorry, who are completely fearless. They will join the paratroopers. Right? And the paratroopers are those who don't need to be motivated. See, you need to motivate an army. You need to motivate a battalion. You need to motivate sometimes commandos. But paratroopers, no motivation. Give them the task and they will do it. You don't have to say, oh, please do this, please go on the other side of the border and kill 10 people and come. No. For them, they will ask, what is the duty? What is the task? That's it. They have no concept of please over there. So the ability of the paratroopers is very high compared to the commandos, compared to the battalions, and compared to the army. But the army doesn't expect that, oh, the battalion should do the work of paratroopers. So the army says the battalion, you have to do your ability and support the commandos. You have to do your ability and support the paratroopers. And in this way, we will win the war. Same way, we have to figure out what kind of type we are. Are we the battalion type? Are we the commandos type? Or are we the paratrooper type? Okay.
If we realize that we are the battalion type, then how do we get that
Yeah.
courage to
So if we are in the battalion type, we will know how much we are able to do. We cannot do what the paratrooper is doing.
As in how to accept.
Accept nahi. See, the thing is, what happens in today's world is, it is saying that you have ability, you have unlimited ability. No, we don't have unlimited ability. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We don't have unlimited ability. Don't go and buy those things that are there in what the society says. No. The reality is that not all the army people can become paratroopers. Right?
Yes, sir, exactly. That is my question. Then how do
so-
we accept that we are not meant to be paratroopers? That we are because then
Oh,
how do we
yeah. Good, good,
comparison?
good. Okay. So what happens is army when they enlist paratroopers, they don't enlist from um, uh, they don't enlist from outsiders. They only within army, and they have to undergo a 24-day test. There is some number of days of test, but at their day of test is like 24. So your question is how to identify, right?
Like how to identify and how to be content in realizing
Yeah,
that we are just meant to be battalions and not paratroopers.
yeah. See, there are exams that we do. So basically, what I'm trying to say is they take exams and they invite. So when for paratrooper exam, right? Say 500 people come. After 2-3 days, people quit because they can't take it. 300 remain. After more 2-3 days, they quit. 150 remains. And at the end, those who pass, maybe 100. So there are exams that happen in our life. Every exam, every challenge that we get, we come to know whether I am a paratrooper or whether I'm a commando or a battalion or whatever. Right? It tells us, are we good at accounting or are we good at regulations? Are we good at physics or are we good at mathematics? Every exam tells us, right? Are we good at history or are we good at geography? And similarly, personal life. What are my preferences in life? I like to do this thing. I like to wear very nice clothes. And some people, they just don't like to wear nice clothes. You give them also, they will make it dirty and then they will wear it. So they will understand. I mean, I'm not of that type. Then there are some people who like to party. So like that, we come to know in every some systems of life that what we like and what we dislike and what we are capable of. So many exams comes and then we say, oh, okay, this is I'm not capable of. And this I'm capable of. So, so exams, they help us to understand. Hmm?
When do you stop? Like how? Because
When do you?
when do you stop? I mean, there was a movie which
Yeah.
I
Okay.
that is
Okay. I know where you are getting. When do you stop and and all that? See, first we need to understand that we are limited. Okay. See, even paratroopers, they know they're limited. It is not like they go unlimited or something like that. No, they know their limits. They have a higher limit than the commandos. They have the higher limit than regular army person. That's it. So we should know we are limited. I cannot do 100 tasks or I cannot do 1,000 tasks. That is not possible. But I can definitely do 10 tasks. And now the interesting question comes. Our limit changes with time, age, and experience. This is what you were asking. How do we understand? Well, we have to give certain time, we have to age also, and we need some experience. Over the period of time, we come to know that our limits have changed. We may start as an engineer or as a clerk, but over the period of time, we can become the vice president. If we are expecting the very first day to become the vice president, how is that possible? This is what is the problem with modern thing, that they think that somebody coming out from IIM can directly become the vice president. No, only very few have that capacity. For most of them, they have to go through time, age, and experience. After 10 years of work, you can handle the work of 4 officers. But at the very first day of your work as a fresher, you cannot even handle your work. so, so you have to give some time. Okay, you have to gain knowledge, you have to gain experience. And experience is both. skills and soft skills, both.
So like combining this concept with the question I asked you last time about the exams. So suppose I'm
Mhm.
giving an exam. Suppose I'm preparing for this exam, and I know that I've been giving on attempts, but it's like how I am trying to give my best and I think to still not get the result. This happens the most in UPSC exams or like any difficult exam, difficult IIT, JEE, and so
Yeah,
UPSC
yeah,
exam.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That because in our like in our world we have to consider time as well. Like we have those time restrictions as well. So in that scenario, how do we figure out that yeah, like this is the ability and this is where I need to stop. Like maybe this is not meant for me. I am not meant.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay, good, 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 good. So first thing, let's say how much we should try. That is basically you're asking how much we should try. Should I endlessly try, or
Exactly. So
yeah, yeah,
at times
yeah,
it gets into
yeah.
our ego.
Right, 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 right. Good, good, good. Yeah, this is one of the important concepts. How much we should try. Now we'll go again back to the eating chapter, and see there are various kinds of endeavor that we may do. 18.14. Okay, I'll place this one also so that you can read later. But our body, it has certain ability. We as a performer have certain ability. Our senses have certain ability, and various kinds of endeavor we may do. Okay. But the fifth item we should know is super soul, which is sometimes called as providence. And this word is important word about providence. Okay. Providence. Uh, Providence means it's a higher power, time, nature, protective care of God, fate, destiny. Similar meaning. Kismat. Very interesting. Now they're putting even Indian words in it. Kismat. Huh? So, so we may try very hard. Try to do your best. Okay. If given another chance, try again. If it fails, let's say you try and fails. Let's say you try again and it fails. Then you consult somebody. Those who have tried, you consult somebody. You tell them, I did this, what can I do? You consult. Then they will tell you, oh, you didn't do this. Therefore, if you do that, then you can do. Or and consult and then introspect. Think about your strengths and weaknesses. Because when you fail, also you get a report card. Okay, I'm talking about exams, right? I'm talking about tests. It gives us some feedback to us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we consult from experts. Those who have already passed, when we ask them about them, yeah. And when we introspect, okay, in the introspect, we may do strength weakness analysis. Okay. We do strength weakness analysis and all that. And we see if we can figure it out. And then we look at our current situation. Sometimes we have to look at our current situation in life. Like one of my friends was very much interested in doing a master's in university, American university actually. But he didn't do. He joined the company after graduation. Why? Because his current situation was that he was not financially stable. His parents couldn't take up that loan or support him. So then for a few years he worked, and after that he did. So you have to think over what you're doing. You have to see where your strength are, where your weaknesses, where corrections. This is an interesting word, corrections. And what is the current situation? And then try again. Okay. And if again you fail, or whatever, you don't get that 100% success or whatever, you accept. Actually, this word fails is like a big word. Sometimes we have success, but our definition of success is like every time I should always have 100 crores in my bank. That is our definition of success. that is itself is wrong. So let me put, it's some success. Because this failure, right, is a very big word. It dejects us. Then you accept it. Okay? Then you accept it. It's some success, 100% success, whatever it is, you accept it.
So
And-
if success, you have repeated it on both the lines.
I know. There is some success. Sometimes our definition of success is like, it has to be like what you say, through of the cloud, or tod phod ke nikla. Nahi, aisa nahi.
But is it really a success? Isn't it like we are, खुद को दिलासा दे रहे हैं that yeah, it's not a failure, that is some success.
See, when we do these three things, we'll get a lot of answers. If we consult with people, we definitely get the right answers. Sometimes we don't consult, we only introspect, and then we go into depression. If we consult with wise people, with experienced people, they will give us a solution. Okay. Now I told all these things. Okay. I like this example. Let's see. Okay. See, this Hewlett Packard is a very big company. You use laptops and all that from that company, and it's a very big company, very huge company. It started like 83 years ago, and they started in a garage in a place called Palo Alto in America. Okay, they started in a garage. Garage means where you actually park car. That's the place they started, and they went from making calculators and frequency to laptops and so many things, software and all. Now it's a very big multi-billion-dollar company. But they even tried a dustbin. They even tried a light bulb. So they started from what they are able to do, and over a period of time, they moved from one product to another product to another product. So now what I mean is,
With age and with time and experience, you get to know that
you
what
get
is-
to know. Okay, there it is. You get to know what you're good at
yes.
and what you're good at, and sometimes you have to completely change. You have to completely change. That is also a possibility. That this is not for me. When you do consult, introspect, current situation, you can completely change also the course of your, okay. So it's a process. Okay, this is a process. It's a process. If we go through one of the first process, right, then next time when such situation comes, we'll be able to handle it. But if somebody is handling it for the first time, then it becomes very difficult. Okay. So
Yes.
so give that time, give age, training, experience, and it will come. Okay.
Yes, sir. So could we share these notes on the group?
This one's
Yeah, the
Sure.
ones you wrote.
sure. I will. Okay. Okay, so let's stop. We went much way beyond 22 minutes. So let's meet to next week and we'll do 2.54. Okay.
Yes, bro.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Hare.